Welcome to the Custom Culture Blast-Off podcast, where we dive into the world of custom art, cars, bikes, and the unique vibe of the Custom Culture Blast-Off Festival.
How are we doing, everyone? So as you can see from the setting change, we are no longer sat in the dingy garage. We're in a well-lit, awesome hot rod shop.
Incredible.
Would you call it a hot rod shop? What would you call it?
American car garage.
American car garage. Joining me as always is Josh from 666 Customs, Matt from Danger Sign, and we've got Ron, Chris, Taryn, and Steve from Highway 63 and also Black Sheep Customs. How we doing?
Yes.
Christmassy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't we look it?
Well, you can see up there. That's about as Christmassy as we get.
Is that what the tree above the Gnarly Magazine sponsor?
Yeah.
Are we sponsored by that?
I think we.
I don't like to mention it, to be honest with you. Bringing you this episode is our awesome sponsors, Gnarly Magazine, who work out of Pennsylvania and absolutely embody the entire custom culture spirit. You've got Matchbook Customs, they're like Harley wizards. Anything you need doing with your Harleys, from cam upgrades to chain conversions to anything like that, they're your people. Walcom and Wildtech, amazing high quality painting equipment for your auto body painting and painting anything really. I think they're all the way out there, aren't they, really? And our newest sponsor, Black Sheep Customs, which is like speak to this is like quite a new development, isn't it, really? It's from like this last week. Was it last week or the week before? I think we kind of decided, didn't we? It's an awesome thing for us because we've got sponsors from the other sides of things, like the motorbikes and the painting equipment and stuff. But we don't actually have anyone really supporting the car show now we do, but we didn't before. So we were kind of like, looking for the right people to jump on board. And obviously, it takes a certain kind of enthusiasm to running shows. I mean, you guys know the efforts you go to run the shows of Highway 63. We'll cover Black Sheep Customs first because obviously, we're here in this awesome garage. What did you guys think to the custom culture? Because obviously, it was our first one and your first time coming.
Yeah.
What was your first initial vibe of it?
It was really good, to be fair, because obviously as we're bringing kids with us as well, there was a lot more things for them to do at the same time as the men looking around the cars and so on. So from that point of view, it was really good as a family oriented show as well as just males.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's a lot of the time. Yeah, it's quite overpoweringly a male dominated place, isn't it? Really, car shows and stuff like that. I mean, I guess less increasingly so nowadays. You know,
that's
what I mean?
obviously exactly in it. The fact that obviously it's there are a lot of kids going. Obviously, a lot of people are now trying to make it more of a family thing, and rightly so. And it's obviously the kids feel comfortable and the women feel comfortable with the kids. And
the other thing is if you've got a family, where are you going to send your kids?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? You can't just lock them outside anymore.
No.
You know what I mean?
What, chain them to the rail?
You can't just chain them outside anymore. I tried and I got told off by the missus the other day. So she was like, "You have to take him with you." I was like, "Oh, god damn it then," and get in the car.
Yeah.
So at least he's got somewhere to. At least he's got somewhere to run around.
That kind of comes back to the show being for everyone, doesn't it? The fact that we're trying to promote this lifestyle and this art to everyone. It's not just fellas that are into cars or even ladies that are into cars. It's kids, adults, whoever.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what we're trying to do, is get everyone into it.
Well, it's like custom culture, isn't it? Culture. I mean, culture's it's a very vast coverage of things, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's not like it's diversified into one thing. With Black Sheep Customs then, so where did you go from school? Was it straight out of college into cars and then this, or?
I've just been brought up with cars.
Been brought up with cars?
British cars, start off with my dad. Brother's into it, all British stuff, Morris Marinas and Itals. Then we've turned it around into something we're more passionate about.
Yeah.
Obviously the American car scene.
So what made you sort of stick to the American cars and go, right, it's American cars now? Or does that just come down to that? That's where your passion lies?
Where my passion is. So it started off as a hobby with the American car scene. It's turned into a job,
Yeah.
a career.
So, I mean, like, you know, like how people, like, they'll ride motorbikes for their job and then they stop appreciating motorbikes. I mean,
Yeah.
do you manage to sort of, like, find the balance between, like, working on American cars and still enjoying being in the scene? Or does it sometimes take it away a little bit?
That definitely takes it away a bit. So we have a 1972 Chevy Nova. We take that as a family car, don't we? Got one in the back that we're building. That's going to be next year's plan. Bit quicker than the other one.
Yeah.
That's all I can say at the minute.
Has it put down sometimes?
Not yet.
Not yet.
It has in the States, not in the UK.
Oh.
Right, so you're like keeping it quiet, ready to kind of,
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah,
Love it.
So what's that going to do? Just pop out and give everyone a bit of a shock then?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Possibly. Yeah. As you can see, there's a lot of cars covered up. And it's just a passion that we've got, and I want to fulfil it, but it's not just a bread and butter garage.
Yeah.
I just would make more money, but
Yeah, but I mean, you know, that's where you're
I
selling,
want to
selling your soul, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I think, like, obviously we spoke quite a few times, and
Yeah.
I think that's what's so cool about what you two are doing together. It's the fact that it's very clear. Everyone knows you guys being the family that are building cool cars.
Yeah, it's family
very
business.
you know what I mean? And,
So-
and that's what's incredible about it.
We'll bring the kids with us, Scout and Ellie. Got your little mention there. And it's basically been one of the reasons I set the business up was to be with my kids and my family. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
The
Awesome.
rest of it's just a bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really interesting way of, like, you know, most people don't start something for that, really, do they? You know what I mean? But that's a cool way of doing it, and it's obviously working.
Yeah.
And people trust, like, the small independent family-run businesses nowadays,
definitely.
you know?
And I think that's like what's really cool. Like every time you see Matt at a show, like your missus is always with you, or is it every time I've been at a show and you've been there, your missus has been with you? You know, it's
Yeah, she's logistics, because otherwise I'd forget to eat or something like
Well, I
that.
saw you out. I saw you on your holidays. You were left alone for a minute, and then you stood on some guy's
Pirate.
head with a spear in his throat.
That was a
or
weird
something.
day, that, yeah.
Mate, did you kind of get pushed into that? Was you kind of like, before you knew it, you were standing on some Turkish guy's throat, or?
Yeah, well, I was,
that
yeah,
it with
basically, yeah. I was filming, and they just said, "Oh, you, come here." Yeah, all right.
Because you stand out, mate.
Yeah, I think I do, yeah.
Yeah, that's the
It's,
problem.
Yeah, it was good fun, but I wasn't expecting to be stood on some poor Tunisian fella. Well, I'd say poor Tunisian fella, he was huge.
Yeah, I mean, goddamn. I mean, you know, but he wasn't doing all like the Shaolin monk stuff, was he? He was just like straight into
Oh yeah,
it.
he was straight on there. Yeah, beds of nails, like a thing made out of nails that he had his face on, and someone was stood on the back of his head. He was just hard, I think.
That's crazy, isn't it? So I think, like, obviously, so at what point did you guys decide that you wanted to kind of put a car club together? Like, is that something that have you been part of a club before, Ron?
We have been a part of a club before, haven't we?
Yeah.
It was a popular club. It was doing really well, but we got our heads together, and the club was going in a direction we wasn't really happy with. So we decided to get our heads together and start ourselves, didn't we? We wanted to do something bigger and do some different events to what they was doing. Wanted to do a show. So we there's four of us. Andy's missing tonight because unfortunately I had an accident, so he's not with us at the moment. But we all got our heads together and started Highway 63.
Yeah. No, that's cool, and obviously, like, it's really good that you guys obviously consistently putting something together in Hull, and obviously you've got backed by Hull Council as well, which is
That's amazing.
which is really good, and the fact that you're consistent with it. You're like, I remember speaking to you the other day. Like, the weather weren't too good. You kind of felt like you didn't want to be there, and then all of a sudden, cars just started rolling in, and then and it finished off good. Like, obviously,
really good perspective about it.
yeah. Well, Steve was saying, it was, and it finished off good for you
So
guys.
there's up 20 plus cars, didn't we, turn up?
You got to put the effort in and take with the rough with the smooth, aren't you? I know with
Definitely.
the club I run, which is, to be honest, a bit quiet now. You turn up every time because someone might want to come along, and if
That's it.
5 cars come along, at least you've been there for them.
Yeah. I mean, you know, we live in the UK.
Well, yeah,
I
exactly.
don't understand where people get this conception from that, like, it's going to be, because you're having something on, it's going to be beautiful weather.
Yeah.
It's like, plan for it to be shit,
Yeah.
Because it's 80% likely to be shit. You know what I mean? It's just the way it rolls, isn't it? You know.
Well, like
I mean,
KKBO
that's
this
the way
year,
we roll, innit? You know what I
Well,
mean?
we lose decks, PA, and generator in 1 week. We did pretty well.
Yeah. And part of my insanity went with it as well.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Well, obviously the very fact that you said that, and obviously like speaking to Steve, and after like you guys enjoyed it, even though there was a PA issue and like electrical issues, and like you say, obviously you felt comfortable with the girls
To be
being
honest,
there.
from the outsiders, we didn't notice it.
That was the key. I
mean, that's pretty good, yeah.
We managed to keep a lot of shit behind closed doors.
Well, I think it's somewhat the same as with Black Sheep Customs as well. Is you see that it's run by enthusiasts for enthusiasts. So you're not thinking, oh, why has this gone wrong? This company are earning kind of hundreds of thousands. Why have they not got it right? We're just all people. We're just trying to do something kind of interesting for like-minded people.
Yeah.
If you're off your arse and you're hustling and people can see you actually putting in a concerted effort, it's like, how can you bitch at that? It's like you can't take the piss out of a fat person at a gym.
No,
Do you know
absolutely.
what I mean?
not.
It's like if someone's trying their best,
Yeah.
then they're trying their best. You know what I mean? I think like, you know, issues will happen, but if they can see you like running around and really trying, do you know what I mean? But I mean, so that's going to be the interesting thing is, and what this is all kind of like leading on to is the fact that you guys are going to be taking on the car side of the custom culture going forward. So it's quite big news. And it's gonna sort of it's really interesting. We're really looking forward to working with you.
Yeah.
I know we've been bouncing some ideas around, and I'm sure we're going to continuously.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, do you guys struggle keeping up with Steve then? Like, because I imagine your
sometimes.
mind just goes and goes.
Mine does, yeah.
I'm used to him. I'm totally down up with it.
Yeah, well, you have to
Not
have
with
the
a few
one.
swear words.
Yeah, obviously, I don't think you've sworn yet.
I'm trying.
I think we're getting there with Steve.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep him a bit of PG.
Yeah, but no, it's one of those things. I don't think either Ron, Steve, or Andy, or myself knew how it was going to go. Originally, as Ron said, the club we were with, no problem with it, got no animosity, not at all, or anything. It was just that we fancied doing something different. And we ended up, the four of us, doing stuff on our own. And we said, you know, why don't we just set up a club? If people want to go to wherever they want, that's great. If they want to come to us, great. There's no...
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not poaching.
It's just
definitely.
something for everybody, because there's that much stuff on a weekend. And people have got plans, whether it's car stuff or family stuff. You can guarantee there'll be a weekend where you want to do something, but there's nothing on. So if we can do and fill the gap and give people options, that's mainly what it's all about.
Plus, I mean, it's like, you know, you're going down the boozer and then you see the same people every single weekend. It gets boring.
That's exactly it.
Do you know what I mean? It's nice to have. It's nice to have a mix.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think the fact that like obviously everyone that knows of like Black Sheep Customs know that you guys are very family orientated, and obviously the fact that there's a nice mixture and then it gets put out into the environment of shows, like you guys want the family to come along in the car. At the end of the day, they're cars. As long as it's 4 seats or 5 seats, like if you can fit the kids in the back and the dog, and like that's clearly, I think that's what it's about. I think.
Well, it's a perfect mix. It's we found the right people to do this for our show, I would say.
Yeah.
And it's something we've discussed, is that we understand and we've listened to everyone out there through the little screen, all your feedback about the show and shine not being quite where we wanted it to be. It's not being quite as organised as we wanted it to be. All three of us have said the same thing, haven't we?
Yeah.
And now we've got a group that can help us out with that.
Motivated as well.
Exactly, yeah. And they're just as passionate as us.
Yeah.
About making it work.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I mean the very fact that like Steve and Sam have opened the doors to us all and let us into his space, into their space, and you know, because like most of you guys have never been in front of a camera and things like that in this respect, and it's that's where I get excited, like the magic of it. Like I'm kind of sat here looking over, I'm thinking, I wonder if you guys ever thought you'd ever be sat around a little coffee table. And that's where I think the magic is. Like I think like that's what excites me, and it's like the idea of if you can inspire, like obviously some of us have got our kids sat in the background. Like if we can inspire our kids, like to stay away from the bad things in life and get addicted to expensive things like what you guys have got here, what else is there?
Well, that's it. The four of us, yes, there's the four of us, and Taryn makes 5, but we don't want to be the forefront of the club. We are at the forefront of the club. all we are is the conduit to bring the people together. You know, and that's where it comes.
That is exactly our
We just want to
mentality.
draw people together.
Just
All
like-minded
the same
people.
likes. Yeah. There's variation. The American Custom scene, it's huge. We just want to tie that in and get people together. That's what it's all about. And I think, particularly since I don't want to mention it, but that lockdown, I think everything changed from that. We've seen a lot of groups fall by the wayside. A lot of people who you used to see regularly, you very rarely see now, because over that period, people moved on, done different things. Life moves on, and I think that's what we noticed as a group. We want to try and bring that back, bring people back together.
Yeah.
It's mad that we look at that now. I mean, it's a fact. It happened, didn't it? You know, the lockdown and COVID and all that stuff. And it's like there is definitely the pre-shows of COVID where there was that air of freedom, and I think it definitely did put people in a weird mindset. Plus, it really hurt festivals and stuff because do you remember when it was all first happening and like they were saying, "Oh, we're coming out of it now." So people had rushed to put like an event on, and then they'd like pull the tickets from everyone as well. So people's like trust in pre-buying tickets went out the window, and obviously a lot of these festivals, they won't take that risk. They need the pre-bought tickets to obviously pay for the infrastructure of the show, and if there isn't the pre-bought tickets, well, they're going, well, I can't take that risk. So that's why a lot of them fell by the wayside. Was people's trust in handing over money for basically a concept of a show. And I think, it kind of like gave it a little bit of a flimsy look. And I think it's sort of like coming back. And I think by doing stuff like this as well, like in the sort of meantime, is people can actually go, oh, that's a solid thing. That's actually real. If I buy a ticket for that, I'm actually going to go to that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And, definitely. But no, COVID had a weird knock-on effect. Did you guys, was you guys still sort of meeting up having stuff or bits and bobs or?
No, I was it. Basically, that lockdown, that was it.
See, we were lockdown rebels, mate, because we had the farm. You know what I mean? If everyone else in Parliament was lockdown rebels, I can say it on a podcast. It's fine. So,
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, I mean, we were still. I don't know if it's something to do with like Lincoln not being as like heavily controlled or something, but we were obviously we were like key workers, so we were just out and about like normal. Do you know what I mean? But what a mad experience.
Well, the thing is, as well, is there's a lot of people still reeling from possibly having to sell because these are effectively toys, aren't they? I mean, they're not normal cars. It's you buy them because you have the disposable income to buy them and to work on them, because they don't just run forever. They need TLC. So you've got a lot of people now. We were discussing this earlier before we started filming. Is the Volkswagens and a lot of classic cars, the bottom has fallen out of the market because now people are realising even now, they don't have the disposable income to look after these things. So stuff's going really, really cheap. It's a buyer's market. So I think we're still getting the knock-on of it now, the knock-on effect.
Yeah.
But yeah, you were saying the other end of the scale, the more expensive cars.
Yeah, it's gone from one extreme to the other with American stuff. I'd say sometimes the wealth has come out a little bit.
Right. Do you feel in the UK, because maybe there's a misconception of it, but it kind of always feels that in America, the American guys buy them as their retirement fund. Is that kind of how it seems to be? Is that a thing in the UK?
Yeah.
You're never going to lose your arse on it.
No.
You've got to buy clever though, haven't you? I think if you're buying like
Americans are good with filler.
Yeah, well, this is it, and
I
I think looking at what's going to appreciate, because something can appreciate in line with inflation, but I suppose you've not really made anything on it.
If it's a Mustang, it'll sell to anyone.
Yeah.
The market's there.
So what is it?
Everybody knows what they are.
What is it you think, for that reason? What is it the Mustangs are doing for people that, buy that? Like you said it'll sell to anyone.
It'll sell to anyone because it's been in so many films.
Right. Okay.
It's the icon, isn't it?
It's Gone in 6 Seconds. The typical films.
Yeah.
It sells them.
Yeah.
But the good cars, and you can get parts for them.
Right.
That's the beauty.
It's always funny when you ask someone who doesn't really know about cars and you say, what car would you most like to own, and they always say a Mustang because they don't know anything else.
It kind of seems
it's like saying like Rizzlers.
Yeah.
Or like anything like that, where it's like that, the actual name has become like an actual icon for the entire catalogue, innit? You know what I mean? You say Mustang, you mean American car. You like American cars then, don't you?
Well, it's like a thing that a lot of people who don't know about cars assume that all Mustangs are fast.
Yeah.
Whereas from the factory, not a lot of them were.
Yeah.
People messed around with them, became very fast. But all the ones you see in films like Eleanor, got Gone in 60 Seconds, and the Bullet Mustang, they're quick cars because they're either very high spec or they've been messed with.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
I mean, they've always been the kings of like super high litres, very low horsepower, aren't they? Americans.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know what I mean, like
straight line cars.
Yeah.
Like a Harley.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly like a Harley, yeah.
Bikes, but it's American bikes, similar to American cars.
So like the LS scene, what about the LS swaps and stuff? Because I mean, I know that's kind of like going mad, isn't it? Really.
I've got to be careful what I say.
All right. Well, what do you like the LS swap sort of side of things and that?
Yeah. So obviously my brother's not here; he's a Ford fan. I've put an LS in a Mustang.
Damn.
So yeah. There you go. So it's out there. One of them's out there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's kind of when I turned up at Ford Fair and it was an Opal red top in a Mark 1 Fiesta. I was like, mate, where's this man? Get him out. Get him out.
See, the thing about that, though, isn't it? We spoke about this at the last podcast, is hot rodding is about what works and what you can afford to put in. It's like these boys back in, like, coming straight off the war, all these pilots, they shoe on whatever would fit in there, whatever they could find or afford, took off as many panels as they could, and went racing on the salt flats. So it's the same ethos. It's I'm watching build at the moment. It's a Ferrari 308 GTBi, and the fella's put a tuned Honda VTEC in it, a K24, because it's the best engine to go in there, because the original engine was, I think, 200 horsepower at the crank, and he sold it for 11 grand.
Right.
And bought this tuned K24 for 11 grand, which puts out 1,000 horsepower. So, and it's half the weight. So it's kind of sacrilege, and I understand people that would say it's sacrilege, but it's the best tool for the job. It's hot rodding.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for mixing it up.
Chuck it all in.
Yeah,
I mean, show on what you can in, or just mess around, do something different.
Being different.
Yeah,
That's the key, I think.
Yeah. So, like, what is it like for you? What is it you're looking for? Like, if you're scrolling for YouTube, for example, and you come across something, what is it that kind of what excites you with American cars?
I just love muscle cars.
Right.
People think I'm massively into American place cars. I like them, but I'm more into muscle cars. But I like anything. If it's American, it's got wheels, it's got an engine, I love it. But if I YouTube, I usually Bicycle Garage, one of the groups I watch.
Good choice.
I think it's really good. I don't really watch that much on YouTube other than
Vice Grip,
very limited on time.
Right.
I spend a lot of my time doing media work for 63.
Right.
So it takes a lot of my time.
Yeah, you put out one hell of a Christmas #1 there, mate. I mean, charted, I think, you know what I
There's a bit
mean?
of ultra trim going on there.
So what about you? What about you, Chris? Like when you're what are you looking for? Like what's something like, oh wow, like I could have that. Like I want to build that, or you know, is that like so obviously the.
Well, it started with a Mustang from when I was about 8. Dad took me to Santa Pod. There was a Mustang running, and that was it. It was just like, that's the car. Got divorced, thought, okay, I'm having it. So I bought one, and I loved it. It was brilliant. Probably, in fairness, Steve would probably agree, it was probably one of the nicest ones in the country.
Definitely.
Then I thought, no, I just want something a little bit different. And a guy advertised his Roadrunner. I thought, got it.
Nice.
Wow. Nice.
Bought it. And it's kind of like, Steve used to say to me, oh, which one are you taking? Like, Mustang Roadrunner, Mustang Roadrunner. And I'd alternate between the two, and then it got to the point where it was just the Roadrunner. And I opened the garage and think, that's too nice to sit there. So this year, put it up for sale, flogged it, bought another one, which wasn't the one that I wanted, but it was like one of those things, you lose out on the one that you're looking for, one pops up and you think, right, I'll have it, so bought that one. But ideally, the one that I'd really like is a Super B.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
69 Super B, I'd go 70, but 69 Super B is the one I think that would probably be me done then.
So it's interesting you say about the year, because obviously I know speaking to you before about years, like it's a big thing. I mean, in the bike scene for me personally, it doesn't matter as long as it looks cool. But why are the years so critical in cars?
So, I'd say the American car scene over the years, rather than just doing a facelift like a BM changing the headlights, it's a full redesign. Or, the car looks totally different. Obviously, you got 68, 69, but there's still the dramatic changes.
Right.
So you can tell, can't you? It's
Yeah, I mean, you look at
on certain cars.
the cars today that run the same sort of floor plan, but they all look the same.
Yeah.
Interior, they look the same. You look back then, obviously, you look at General Motors, Ford, they were all knocking out cars like going out of fashion at one point, and they were all trying to outdo each other. So you had like the different marks in General Motors, they were bringing out different cars. They were then bringing out, although they're in the same group, bringing out different cars, but they all had to be slightly different. They all had to be different. So, like, you got your Dodge, your Plymouth, your Chrysler's, then you got your Chevys, your Fords, and that. You look at the cars then, and each year they're slightly different.
Yeah.
And you look through the different, whether it's Pontiac, Dodge, Plymouth, Chrysler, Buick, Pontiac. There's some similar things, but they all have their own individual
Characters,
characters.
Do you see, because obviously you're doing a lot of pinstripe and American stuff as well as being obviously a massively involved in the V-dub scene. So do you see the same type of thing with the old stuff, with the V-dubs?
Yeah, you don't see it quite so much with the Volkswagens, because I think if you think about stuff like your 50s Chevys, every year they're different. It's like, even though they're the same similar shape, they've got different grills, different bumpers. You wonder how they manage to make any kind of money selling them, because they're almost completely different every year. The Volkswagens it's nerdy stuff like your crossover years, and there's 1 year only stuff and that, but they'll look generally the same, like even down to I've been saying, but they'll be ever so slight kind of, oh, this little bit's different or that little bit's different. So it's a bit more, it's not as kind of easy to see as in the American car market.
Yeah.
Which is why I think because everyone seems to have the favourite. Say your tried Chevy, everyone's got the favourite one because every one is really, really different to the others.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like the Impala as well. The Impala seem to change drastically every year. Or you go back to 40s Fords, and every single one they're not just a little bit different; they're completely different.
Yeah,
and I think that's probably easier to see. So I think, from the point of view, the Volkswagen side is a bit more nerdy because it's all about, oh, this has got 1 year only door handles or something like that. And whereas a non-car person would see like a few different iterations of 50 Chevy and say, oh, that's definitely different to that. They're not going to notice on a Volkswagen.
Yeah, yeah. So I know this is a bit of a random one for you, and you probably have to educate us. But so, was the Japanese market entering the America in what year did the Japanese market enter the American sort of market sort of stuff? You know what I mean? Because it's like with the bike scene, it's like Japanese designs drove Harley to have to make better designs. Like Japanese inventions and constantly moving forward made America sort of like pick themselves up, and they had to move along with the times to keep up with the Japanese, because obviously like they were constantly getting moved in on. Like people were going and buying Hondas over Harleys. You know what I mean? Like, or if they weren't, do you think that things would have progressed a lot faster had they had a lot more challenge, a lot more sort of competition in the market, say?
I think probably, I would say the oil crisis in the 70s probably had a big say in where the American market went. I think if it hadn't been for the oil crisis, I think the Americans would have still bumbled along as they were.
Big lumps.
Quite happily, yeah.
Because
the fuel's cheap, wasn't it?
Yeah, and you can knock America for a lot of things, but the Patriots.
Yeah, I was literally thinking the same thing.
In America, they'll buy it.
Yeah.
It could be a pile of shit, but they'll buy it.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's the thing, that they stick to what they believe in.
They don't seem to want to push technology, do they? Like, I know that
tradition.
Yeah,
that's where. Yeah. That's the Japanese car scene, is everything's electronic.
Because I think it's like funny when, for example, on Hoonigan, when Ken Block brought his Escort Cosworth onto the grounds, and they were like, open the bonnet, where is it? I bet that's not pushing anything, about 800 brake, and they're all like, where? You know,
Yeah.
like that's where I think it was. I mean, like I say, I don't know much about cars, but I kind of like the fact that small engines produce big power.
Same as what Matt was saying with is it the Honda engine?
Yeah, the stance works Ferrari. Yeah, it's higher technology, so I think the Americans kind of go for more kind of
Cubic engine.
no replacement for displacement, is there? But then it's when you look at something like a mate of mine's got 51 DeSoto. I think it's got a 6 litre straight 4, I think it is, or maybe a straight 6, and it puts out just over 100 horsepower.
Yeah.
And you think
crazy.
what modern American engines can do with 6 litres, but yet something that's a third of the size can push out 1,000
motorbike
brake
size,
with a bit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I mean, what I think the Americans nailed, the Japanese definitely wouldn't, and that's styling.
Yeah.
And I think it's like, when you buy an American car or you buy a bike, you're buying a key to that side of the culture. And it's like, you feel like you can actually be a part of it now. You know what I mean? Because you've actually owned a piece of that heritage, I guess. You know what I mean? So, I imagine you probably get it a lot with the sheriff's car, don't you? I mean,
absolutely.
you're constantly...
Constantly stopped to ask questions.
Yeah, I mean, but that's cool, though, isn't it? You know what I mean? I bet it's nice when you see, like, youngsters, like, oh, my God, look at that. And, you get to kind of, that your car might be the entrance, the gateway for, someone to go, one day I will own something like that, isn't it?
Because that is that like one of the newest newest American cars in the club? Is your
No, not in our club. No,
some
we've
brand
got
new ones nearly.
literally brand new,
all right?
Yeah.
brand new stuff. You got Dodge Ram. I think that's the newest red, whatever
Right.
that is now.
Yeah, 24 plate.
24.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
There's some
Thanks for out there.
yeah.
Mustangs.
Mustangs.
There's got quite a lot of modern stuff in there. We Dodge Challenger.
So we start off from 30s.
Yeah.
You know,
So
full
like,
range of American cars.
To be fair, there's no age limit on the club. The only thing is it has to be American or custom.
yeah.
In somewhere.
So is the newer American stuff, does that hold its own now? Like, so, with the onboard electronics and stuff, like, could you comfortably track it, or are you still sort of like falling into the American pitfalls of it's a bit lumpy in the corners, it's a little bit wallowy and stuff?
Yeah, they don't handle.
What, even the modern stuff?
No, not compared to the Japanese market.
Yeah.
The European stuff, your Audis, that kind, nothing will compare to that.
Is that again because they refuse to kind of move forward with
No, it's just raw
engineering?
power. You'll get more of a driving experience out of an American car.
Right.
Jump into an Audi with 4-wheel drive, does everything for you.
Yeah. They literally do drive themselves as well, don't
Exactly.
they? They've got, like, what is it, the active suspension that's basically getting you around every
Something
single
else to go wrong.
corner. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's it. I mean, how can people learn all that?
No, when it works, it works. When it fails, it's the money pit.
Yeah.
it's like automatic headlights, man. You've hit one of my pet peeves there. It's seeing people when it's dark without any headlights on because they can't turn them on for them.
Yeah.
Oh, mate,
The car
drives me up
Yeah.
the wall.
Yeah.
It's like, because I can't afford to have like the bright ass blue
Yeah.
lights.
Oh,
you know
the
what I mean?
lasers
I have
at
to,
the front,
I have
yeah.
to pay the cost. Do you know what I mean? I tell you who's the worst as well. Range Rovers, mate.
Yeah.
Literally, they just seem to be at like eye level.
Yeah, they're higher up and they've basically got like lasers on the front end. They may as well have.
See, what I do is I wait until they're just about to go past and then I get them. I'm like, take
You
that.
literally just full beam or you full on flash like.
Oh, I'll go strobe. You know what I mean? Crash.
That's one thing. I don't mind a modern car, but I mean, even Sean's Seat has automatic wipers.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I decide when these things go. What is it? I'm the driver. I decide.
You've been in Tesla?
Mate, I cut that.
You seen inside one though? I mean, have you just like gone there and gone?
Does nothing for me, and the people that drive them doesn't do nothing for me.
What, like eating like brand plate bars?
So what you're saying, if Tam turned up with a Tesla,
Should be off.
Now I know what to do.
Should be longer. Yeah, it won't be sitting on my drive. Definitely not.
so like for the American car scene for women, Tam, like do you think is there a lot more women getting involved Like, have you noticed, or is that something?
Elderly, not elderly women, but like older.
No, keep going. No, keep going.
Like older women than like 30s, I would have said it's more like 50s upwards.
40s, be generous.
40s. I don't really see many people my age that are like extremely enthusiastic about it.
Do you think they kind of like put
It should be more though.
Yeah,
Definitely should be more.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But no, it's like the elderly people with older people with like the pin-up style clothing and stuff like that was at like Kustom culture.
The
You
50s
can kind
era.
of spot them a mile off, with like the hair wraps and stuff like that, and like polka dot dresses and so on. But they are not necessarily like 30s and so on.
So not only like as this is an interest, well, I'm interested to know, like as a business owner, as a mum, and obviously as a woman that's passionate about the culture, like what is it you want to see more of?
That's an awkward question, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's a good question though,
Yeah.
because obviously, like you're there to represent, really. I think.
I don't know. Maybe like a bit more awareness about like females that work in this industry.
I was
Because it
just about
can
to
be kind of like frowned on a little bit. Like not that people would notice it as such, but when you're obviously the person behind doing that, you do get the impression of like you're not appreciated for it. But it's like at the same time you think, well, you wouldn't get your car back if it wasn't for like the person ordering the parts. Or do you know what I mean? Like the total.
Well, I say if it
hazard,
wasn't for Taryn ordering the parts, none of this would work.
And also,
100%.
like you mentioned the other day, I think you were doing something. Tam was outside doing something else, and a bloke come up instantly, kind of tried to almost walk past you, and like then was surprised that you like educated him on. I think that's great.
It does Lauren's head in.
Yes.
Because people go, well, this and this. Like, can I park here? And she's like, no. Like, no, I want to speak to Jake.
Yeah.
It's like how demeaning. I mean, even Matchbook Custom, like, I'm sure I'll be all right saying this, but Melissa, the lass that works on the counter there, she'll have guys ringing up saying, no, I want to speak to Matt.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, but I can order your parts.
Yeah.
I know what I'm on about. And they're like, no, I'll call back later.
Yeah.
It's like Jesus Christ,
it's quite degrading.
The old adage about you take your as a woman, you take your husband to the MOT tester and they just ignore you and talk to your husband. I don't know, it's my car.
The funny thing is, I'm useless without them. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, really, you're asking the wrong person anyway, because I mean, it's like, I barely know where I am right now.
Well, it's about being a team, isn't it? I have the same thing with Sean. You touched on it earlier, is I'm there painting, I've got my head in it, I have a bit of a thing about I tend to get kind of drawn in and stick to one track, and Shav's there to make sure that everything else happens.
Yeah.
You're a partnership. It's like you two with the business. I mean, you both got which lane you're in with your business, and you do your bit.
Well, we both set the black chip customs up. So it's not going deep into it, but through mental health, and it was a decision Taryn actually chose to make this work. To be with my kids, be with my kids, and be with my family is priority. The rest of it is a bonus.
Yeah,
but it's the same with the Highway 63. It's about getting people out there for the club to socialise. You know, it's not just about the cars. It's about meeting people, talking about different things, different people.
Some of the best friends you'll ever make.
100%, yeah.
I mean, just from like randomly.
Well, that's how
we
all met, isn't it? It's through the car club itself.
Yeah, I mean, I've literally thought, I can't be asked to go to this place, you know, all that, like the Scunny, like the Warlocks thing at Scunny. Yeah. I remember I couldn't be asked to go. My bike wasn't on the road, and I thought, fuck it, I'll just drive in the van. And I ended up meeting one of my mates that has come to my stag do, and he's come to my wedding and all that. You know what I mean? It's mad how it works, you know. You know what I mean? Just, you know, get yourself out there, and if you're someone that's never really been to shows as well, like the Kustom culture is a great place. Yeah. As a first timer, because it's not clicky. It can't be clicky because there's so many different subsets of stuff going on.
And if it was clicky, none of us would be sat here right now.
Yeah,
because we've all got our own thing, but we've all come together because we all agree on the same thing, and we're all like openly like, right, well, that's your strong point. Okay, well, what about that? You know, and I think that's what it's about, because at the end of the day, like the world want to stop this. Like the governments want to get rid of everything. They don't want us getting together. Like so we can't afford to. We can't afford to waste time fighting. And you're that
for people like us, it just fade off.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
It's a dying trade as well. Yeah, there's not many people doing it, and doing it right.
Do you know what? I don't think kids learn fuck all when they're at school.
No, definitely.
Like literally, it's like when we were doing resistant materials at school. It's like, you know, I remember, like, you hear stories of old of, like, the workshops at schools, and
Yeah.
or even like bigger companies like taking on like fabricators
Yeah.
from like straight out of college. But the thing is, it's like with the influx of people and like the colleges, at the end of every college year, they're turfing out another 50 kids
Mm-hmm.
and another 50 kids. And it's like it's hit this job saturation point where a lot of these people are staying in jobs for longer because of the retirement age. So like they've not got that fresh influx of people because we're losing our sort of industrialism.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like people aren't learning that they can do shit with their hands.
Yeah.
Like you can fucking weld, lads.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Just pick up a welder and you can learn. But it's like, it's having that self-confidence to think, it's like the first time you ever do something like big, or, you paint something or something, you're proud of yourself.
Yeah.
And it's like, they need to feel that, experience that, oh shit, I can do this. And then I think, like the culture will be, a lot, it'll have that influx of young blood again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's the thing. It's like school basically nowadays. Unfortunately, it trains you to work. It doesn't matter what you do. It's basically go and work in an office, go and be a factory drone or something like that. You're not really trained to do anything. You're trained like
Ticking
anything
time
specific, like engineering, messing with cars, mechanic, welding, something like that. They're just training you to get through school, get your basics, and then put you in a job until you die. And so there's very little kind of room for doing something interesting.
Yeah.
And that's I think that's what we're all trying to say is there's other options. You can paint, you can tattoo, you can mess around with bikes, you can build cars. There's all different things that you can
You've
do.
got to do what you're passionate about as well.
Yeah.
haven't you?
Exactly that.
Follow
Yeah,
your
it
dreams,
doesn't
that's
matter if you only make enough to keep a roof over your head. If
100%
you're
that.
passionate about it, and if it's giving you something back.
That's the main
Like,
thing.
I mean, I have a day job,
Yeah.
but I want at some point I'd like to see myself doing Danger Zone full time. But I know I'm going to have a year or two where I'm going to be living on the edge, but
Yeah.
I'm going to be able to
Well,
say
you're
I can do
passionate
that.
about
Yeah,
doing it.
exactly.
Definitely.
Yeah, I can do that for a living, and I can be proud to say like that's what I do for a living.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as well, I think even like working in like dealerships.
Yeah.
Like even if you do go into college and do mechanics, and then you end up working in a dealership, and it's like dealerships are like they're like the mechanics version of a shitty office job. Because it's like you're so pinned in, and it's like you've got no movement. There's your job sheets. You've got this to service, that to service, that to service. It's like
You're a fitter, aren't you?
you're a
you're
fitter.
a robot.
You're a fitter. Not knocking any mechanics out there. I'm sure you'd agree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? It's like you're not let loose, and like you don't get to have fun. You're there to
15 brake jobs a day or something.
yeah, that's it. And I'm sure that they'd fucking go definitely. Like and
So like Tam, like for you, what would you like to see? Like, what are you kind of hoping for your girls moving forward in careers? Like, what are you hoping that they like? Is there something you hope like? What's it with the education and like the industries? What kind
I
of?
think I'll answer one of them, but it's to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
You know,
Nice, yeah.
say coming out the back of lockdown, just where your lads are sat. There was me, Scout, and Ellie, my daughters. And we were stripping a 289 Ford V8 down.
Awesome.
One of my customers' cars. One of them asked me like, why do we need tape measures and stuff like this? And it was basically I showed them everything, just silly little things.
Yeah.
Why do we need maths? And there was adding bits and bobs up. And they saw a different side of what they learn at school. So what real life, why you need maths. You don't see it when you're at school, but you do need these certain things.
Yeah.
cool.
You need
So we
the
get them
basics,
involved, but we don't force it on them.
No.
We'd take them to Santa Pod. I wanted to go kick a ball with them in the camping bit, didn't we? And then we wanted to watch the drag cars. So
Yeah, it's like my oldest son is into football, and like, I think I missed a handful of games, 3, 4, and like I'm not a fan of football, and it meant more to me the fact that he felt that he wanted to go down that road, you know, because the last thing I want is my son to feel that. Do you know what I mean? And it's like I say to my boys, like, I'm not educated, like I can barely read and write and add up. But if this is something that I have to give them, is like be annoyingly persevere annoyingly, like don't give up, like keep going, like, and like I think there's a lot of opportunity for the younger kids online, like like kind of like doing what we're doing here. This is magic for me, like, because I'm a massive believer in that. I know for a fact there'll be somebody out there that physically, mentally, for whatever reason, do not feel they can leave their house, and this is a way that people like us on a podcast and then content at shows it's a way of us being able to give to them guys as well.
Yeah.
Did you want to answer that as well?
No, I think
From your
you kind of
perspective.
covered it all, but like basically both our girls are like different personalities. So as long as one of them is more into like football, rugby, and so on, so as long as she knows she can follow that path, even though in a normal world it's more meant for boys, but she, as long as she knows in her head that because she likes it she can do it, then the other one's more ballet and girly type
girl,
thing.
aren't we?
So as long as they just literally follow what they want to do, which is kind of
Well, I think like saying like how there are normally manly things, like the best fight on Netflix was the women fight just before Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. You know what I mean? They and I think it's incredible. So it's like
Same as football.
Is that because it wasn't fixed?
100%, mate. No, but no, but that's it. I got my ass kicked on a racetrack by a girl on a mini motor. It's like, I'm not even ashamed to admit it. Like,
I thought you were on about running.
no, mate, I can't run because
She's only beat the phone.
you know.
Under the wheel.
Yeah. But no, that's it, innit? It's
I've got a standard with my son. Well, I say a standard, but it's like I want him to be able to walk into and get a service on his car without getting told that his tartan paint needs respraying, or do you know what I mean? His flux capacitor needs changing in his car, and he knows that he's being mugged off.
yeah.
That's kind of like my baseline of like, you do whatever you want, but you can't be a mug. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because people will take the piss.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So as long as they've got like a sort of like basic knowledge of like what they're
Sort
sort
of
of,
sense of streetwise, isn't it?
Yeah, you want to be able to teach your child, whether they're male or female, is say for instance, this is how you wire a plug, this is how you change your oil, or this is how you check your oil. You want to give them, like you said, some life skills. It's like I'm into cars because me and my dad kept this knackered old Hillman Hunter going on the driveway. So I was like, some of my earliest memories are holding the torch for him while something's like spewing out. I mean, that thing was an absolute wreck by the time we got rid of it, but we kept it going for years, and that's
a nice thing as well. You brought out. My dad comes round here, and when we're at ramp, I used to shine the torch in his eyes.
Oh yeah,
It's gone the other way now.
You're wearing him saying, "Oh, that's still."
It's weird how the tables turn.
Yeah, but it's the bonding side of it as well, isn't it?
That's what we missed as a kid. It was always there.
Yeah.
But I was a typical teenager, wanted to fight and stuff.
Yeah.
I wish I'd have listened a little bit more to him because he was right.
Yeah.
And that's, he's going to watch that now. But
yeah, damn it, sound like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you've got to.
He's going to bring that up all.
They'll suck there when they are right.
No, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's same with your kids. As they are, they're learning from you.
Yeah.
They won't listen to you until.
No, they don't. I mean, my old man's like, I remember saying to him, I've been to Ford Fed. I was like, oh, look at this Mark II Lotus Cortina. No, it ain't. I was like, yeah, it is. No, look at this Mark. Dad, look, I've got the picture. No, it ain't, son. And he's that type of guy. He was like, out comes the laptop. I'm there Googling it. He goes, have you finished yet? And his hair smug on his face. He's like, you already knew. And I'm really going through Wikipedia, and then he goes, Ford made the Mark II, whereas the Mark 1 was made by Lotus. He said it was made by Lotus because Ford were in a bit of financial position. They didn't really have the time or the money or whatever. He explained it to me. Yeah. But he was that guy that he's like, technically he's right. But he was right though. Technically, it's not actually a Mark II Lotus Cortina. It's a Mark II built by Ford with the Lotus twin cam in it. And it's like, but do you need to be smuck about it?
Oh, if I was having a foot race with my dad, mate, he'd kick me over. he'd like push me over, like, you ain't I ain't going easy on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like playing football and he's wearing cowboy boots and he says he goes to get the ball, but Dad, it started at the top of my knee. The graze runs down. The ball's down there.
I've just got a really weird image of my dad playing football with cowboy boots on.
No, mate, Mom, man's it.
Cowboy boots.
Well, hey, let's go to our first ad break.
Yeah.
Is your Harley Davidson feeling a little stock? Like it's rolling down the road with training wheels? Does it lack that growl, that rumble, that oomph? Well, at Matchbook Custom, we've got the cure for your motorcycle's midlife crisis. Whether it's performance upgrades, custom builds, or making it look like it can bench press your neighbor's car, we do it all. Because let's face it, a stock Harley is like showing up to a biker rally on a scooter. We're the Harley specialist just outside Stamford, UK. Ready to give your bike the balls it's been begging for. Custom parts, slick gear, and upgrades so hot, your bike will practically start dating a Ducati. So don't let your ride limp along. Bring it to Matchbook Custom, where stock bikes go to grow a pair. Visit us at www.mbc.style. Yeah, that's right, we're so cool even our website's got style. Or email us at matchbookcustom@gmail.com. Side effects of visiting Matchbook Custom may include excessive horsepower, spontaneous wheelies, and your neighbors wondering why their bikes suddenly feel inadequate. Matchbook Custom, where Harleys get jacked and stock bikes cry in the corner.
So we are back. That was a word from Matchbook Custom. Yeah, that awesome advert where it sounds like the most American advert you can possibly think. Like, are you a bitch? Do you need your bike to go faster so you went there and piss the women?
What does it say? Even the email address has got style. Matchbook Customs.
Yeah. No, awesome stuff. So so we're going to be sort of moving on to the show and shine and how everything's going to sort of amalgamate together. And we'll just start off by saying, obviously, me and Matt were speaking straight after the first show. In fact, at the show, thinking this needs to be more organised. I think we ended up with a lot more than what we were expecting, didn't we? So, and I think we just ran ourselves out of manpower at that point.
Yeah. I think we didn't have the manpower, so we basically let it sort itself out, and it on the whole it worked, but it wasn't quite what we both wanted. So we needed someone as a good segue into what we're about to talk about. We needed someone to basically take on that part of the show, and those someones are sat here with us.
Yeah, so I don't even really know how it came up. I think we just on the phone, wasn't it, really, and just
I think it was after we'd been down, me and Chris, to Kustom Culture, and we came down to Highway 63, put a few cars on, and it was, what's the word for it? It was just a show that it's an honour to be a part of, to be honest.
Nice.
The feedback from us was phenomenal. Yeah, it was just everything we wanted out of the show, from a family perspective to a car show.
What do you think it was, like the vibe of it, or the woodland, or the
everything? So the entrance coming into it, the stalls, fantastic. The show, can we call it where you did the awards at the top?
Oh, the stage.
The actual stage itself. Matt's pinstriping, absolutely phenomenal. And the variation of the pinstripers there, it just made the show a massive variation. The tattoo stuff, actually watching it live.
But what did you think to the organisation of the cars? Like, did you obviously see group improvements?
So, I'd say from me, it was good, but we can make it better.
Yeah. I mean, we've got a lot more room to play with this time around, don't we?
We have a lot of ideas. It's something we was looking at doing as Highway 63, is putting a show on. That's between me, Ron, and Chris and Andy. Kustom Culture just seemed to be a way forward for us to get in there.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard, starting a show from scratch. You know what I mean? It takes a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Obviously, we spoke to yourself about putting a show on.
Yeah.
When you started reeling stuff off, it was like, is this capable from us four? Probably not at the minute.
It's like full. You got to be like all
be realistic about it.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's being realistic. Yeah. But I think that's the beauty of it's like you guys coming on board. It's like me, like we said, we ran out of manpower, so cars were parking themselves, and we were depending on the likes of East Coast Classics to be well regimented, which they were, and managed to park all their stuff up in good order. If you had a club from further afield that didn't really understand that, we were chucking ourselves to the dogs a little bit there. I think we could have ended up with an actual shit show of cars here, there, and everywhere. And we did end up with a few rogues, didn't we?
There was a few random cars just parked because I think they thought, I'll just drive down so I can go get a burger and then leave my car there. There was a couple that we just didn't know who owned them.
Yeah,
and that I think is where a proper set of marshals on the show field will work really, really well. Because not only will everything be set out nicely, and we have also talked about maybe setting stuff out in categories and age, type of car, where they're from, depending on how it falls. But yeah, there's that thing of no, you can't just park your daily in the middle of the show and shine field.
Yeah.
Doesn't work like that.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, that's not to be put off by, you know, if you don't have anything, if you have a car that isn't American, but it's potentially like, you know, highly customized.
Oh, absolutely not.
Do you know
yeah,
what I mean? It's like,
when-
you know, it's open to that, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's, you know.
So when you say highly customised, was it JDM but vintage JDM, like vintage Jack cars? Like, I mean, some of these old,
I
like,
think it's something we'll probably have to speak about as a club.
yeah,
We do need to set boundaries.
yeah.
And
You can't have your Peugeot 106.
So the Fiat 500.
Not this year.
Right.
Have Fiat 500.
No, what they're actually after is a slightly rusty Nissan Cube.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but your Nissan Cube is cool though.
Oh, cheers, but
I mean, it is.
Oh, I thought the clapped out Fiat 500 was where it was at.
That's not clapped out, man. Right, cut the show. I'm going home.
Just do a what's his name, senior off of OCC and throw a chair at me because
no, we can't get to that on the third podcast.
Joe, imagine it. So obviously, so you guys are like, are you excited? That's
Yeah. None of us can't wait to get into it.
it's addictive, isn't it? It's like I think because I reckon all of us sat here, we all can see there's so much potential.
Definitely.
So because it's just all done in the right way, I think. Like even just the podcast, like the fact that we're able to offer that out to people that might never get to it.
Silly things like meeting you, got us in touch with. Obviously, I knew Matt before, but got us in touch with Jake. Small community, but
Yeah.
word of mouth.
And I just turned up because I thought you had a showroom.
Yeah.
On Facebook, I don't know why. I just thought it.
You never left. You asked me if you could do a tattoo parlour in your workshop.
I did.
You did.
I did.
It's funny.
Yeah.
did you try and say
I've seen your work, mate.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Outside.
I've seen your work. There's a caravan outside. Crack on.
I'll get rid of that.
Yeah.
He said the same thing to me. He was like, "Can I do a tattoo parlour in Gary?" And then he was like, "Can you go buy a Fiat 500?" Like, mate, stop.
I'll do you a free tattoo if you let me showcase the Fiat. My missus is going to look at that and go, that's my Fiat they're talking about.
I love that car.
Why don't we get your Fiat and like just do the rounds at the custom culture and see what it looks like at the end?
No. It probably won't make it to the show.
I mean, we haven't got time for coilovers, so we'll just cut the springs. But I've heard it's exactly the same safety rating.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No.
Absolutely fine. One of my favourite ever cars was a Mark II Polo bread fan on chopped springs, handled like a go-kart. It was amazing. Love that car. 1 litres of fun, yeah. What, 1043cc. I love that thing.
That was slow.
Yeah.
So kind of, I know we like wandered off topic a bit,
Yes.
but like with regards to the show and shine, like is there going to be different segments? I mean, I don't know anything about this type of stuff, so how does that kind of?
Not sure. I'd say going back to it, I think we'll have to discuss it. Obviously from the Highway 63 team, but putting it forward between Jake and Mark and yourself.
It's by the time this comes out at the end of this month, we'll probably be a lot further ahead.
Definitely, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So by the time that this is probably coming out, we'll probably be releasing stuff alongside it to kind of like,
Yeah.
you know, accompany it really. Do you know what I mean? It's like details wise and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's going to be cash prizes. So there's going to be, you know, cash prizes. You don't need to fill in like crazy amounts of paperwork to enter. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, we invite people to come and enjoy the show, and it's like, you know, you park your car up, you get to be a part of the show and shine, but then you also get to go and enjoy all the other things that we've got going on, don't you? So obviously, like, you know, there's going to be like tons of banners, merch.
Yeah.
You'll have your Black Sheep Customs there as well, repping as well, won't you? So
Yeah.
you know, as well, if you've got an American car and you're bringing it, or any sort of like, you know, sort of custom car, and you know, it's like, you know, get it pinstriped, get a little bit done to it while it's there, you know, and if you want any sort of like performance upgrades or mechanicking work, do it. Then you know, you guys are there to sort of, yeah.
Definitely, yeah. So we'll have our merch, t-shirts, hoodies, hats,
Yeah.
female, male. What else is there?
Bin bag.
A bin bag.
if anyone wants to identify as a bin bag.
You had to say it. Yeah.
Yeah, all that shit, don't you? But no, we'll have our merch there, stickers, whatnot, stuff to order. We've also got Highway 63 merch. Pretty much same at hoodies, t-shirts. We can take stuff to order, but we'll have a really good variety of items there.
Yeah, I mean, and also like obviously, if the guys that are watching it are interested in what you guys do, like you guys host a lot more events, so there's going to be more of your gatherings before the custom culture. So
Yeah,
if you are
definitely.
interested in being a part of the Highway 63 Club, you guys have where you when have you got an idea for your next one?
We ain't got a set date as yet.
Well, we
We'll sort of
Ideally-
pencil in March, don't we?
March,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I think it's going to depend on the weather.
Yeah.
If the weather's still pretty poor, then it'll probably be.
Has it ever been good?
We've had some
The
brilliant.
first one was really
brilliant,
good,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
haven't we?
We've
Well,
had some of the best.
Yeah.
But then we got caught up with the rain once, didn't we?
Yeah,
Twice.
it's not anybody did it.
We used all our merch just to keep warm and dry.
Yeah.
You did. I was still with you picking cones up.
Yes, Steve.
What else is there?
But yeah, obviously, like, so people that do, like, obviously, you know, we spoke quite a bit about Highway 63 so far. So if you want to know more about them, like, join your Instagram page,
Instagram,
Facebook page.
Facebook, we've also
How
got
do they
our
find
website.
you? How do they find you?
If just type in Highway 63 in your search engine, we should be straight at the top.
Right.
Or they'll be on they'll be on some custom culture related stuff as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll be on all of our
Yeah.
bits
Absolutely,
and bobs
yeah.
as well. So
Same with Black Sheep Customs.
So the website as well.
63's on there.
Yeah, we've also got our own website as well, which is highway63.co.uk,
Right.
which has got links on there to all our socials. But we just started up on TikTok and X as well. So
how's that
Right.
going on TikTok? I mean, I don't do TikTok.
I don't do radio TikTok, so I've just started to test a lot of it.
Right. Yeah, it's new ground for
Probably it's
me.
the way to go, but I don't do it.
No, I'm not. I mean, I'm on it, but
I've got enough to keep up with
I do
I'm
it.
such an old man with stuff like that.
Yeah. Our last does you do.
I think TikTok
Facebook,
would
don't
be
you?
good for like maps kind of thing, but
For
for
live
like car
videos.
clubs,
Yeah.
it's such not massively. I think it's more Facebook related. Like ours is more Facebook related, isn't it?
Instagram.
Yeah.
I do the Instagram.
Yeah.
You do the Facebook. I do
Yeah.
the pictures. Taryn does all the writing. Just can't read all right.
Yeah. No, I mean, Instagram's it's more. We literally talked about this last time. Wasn't
Yeah.
it? It's like you get more gratification from posting on Instagram because it's like it actually, you know, it's like
I like
no
pictures.
words. It's just no
Straight to
bullshit.
the point.
Just
Yeah.
music and a picture. You know what I mean?
Yeah, music, picture, or video. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
there's none of the kind of related, well, bullshit basically
No,
that you get on Facebook. It's just it is what it
You
is.
see what it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
but equally, Facebook has a community feel.
Yeah, I mean
Do you
it's
know what I mean? It's
I think from the Facebook side, from a business, we
We
get
get more through Facebook.
we get
Yeah.
more through Facebook. Even though I do the Instagram, don't we? The Instagram's more worldwide, I would say. For
I don't
us.
think you get as much shit on Instagram as well, like people commenting on stuff. Whereas on Facebook, like
Yeah.
if you spell something wrong, someone's
Yeah,
got to-
yeah.
No, you get all the anal people.
You mean
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, there's keyboard warriors, isn't
Keyboard
it?
warriors. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Follow them, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, they're both well, they're all social media can be a really, really valuable tool. It's as long
Nice
as
day and
you
age, isn't it?
yeah, as long as you keep it as such and don't get too sucked into it, too sucked into the lifestyle.
But like on a business side, obviously, it'd be interesting to know, like, from Black Sheep Customs and from yourself, like, how much of your customers are actually coming off social media? And I can imagine it's mainly word of mouth.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Will.
So from us, we set the business up for more word of mouth. Don't advertise outside. If you build a business from word of mouth, you're doing something right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously, sorry, I'm not.
No, I'm the same. It's I do get some work through social media, but it is mostly word of mouth because there's no replacement for that. If someone who has actually had work done by you can recommend you, then that's a massive thing because it's not just someone seeing a picture they like the look of. It's because there's a lot more to it than just the finished article. It's kind of how you are to deal with. You'll find this as well. Is how you are to deal with. You're a decent person. Do you stick to your word? Do you stick to as much as you can your timeline, your budget, things like that?
It's giving people your time, and
Exactly.
that's
Yeah.
what we make an effort with. I'd like to say, is
Yeah, I think it stands for almost as much as your finished product
Yeah.
to be decent people to work with and
Yeah.
fair-minded and I don't think reasonably priced comes into it because unfortunately I think the businesses that we're in it costs what it costs. It's you try and
you pay for what you get.
yeah you do you try and make it affordable for people, but
Yeah.
we spoke about this before. These things that we deal with, they're toys for people. They're kind of they're luxury items. If you've got a say for instance a 68 charger, it's a luxury item. It's not something you need, it's something you want, and you've got a bit of wedge to be able to put into that. So everything's going to be more expensive than taking your Fiesta to the garage or something
Yeah.
like that.
So we was also thinking about the the Hot Wheels sort of podium, or sort of making more sort of like backdrops, interesting places to take photos of the vehicles and stuff like that, and more of a ceremony around the trophy.
Yeah.
You know, giving
Make
out.
it a bit more of a wow factor.
Definitely that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like nobody's putting together these cool items to go unnoticed. Like, and that's kind of like what's so cool about all of us sat here. Like the fact that, like, obviously, you know, Jake was able to connect with Gnarly, and like the idea is that someone from the American hot rod scene or muscle car scene will be able to go through you guys and potentially even get the, you know, noticed by the magazines as well. Potentially, you know.
So you guys heard of Gnarly then in the past?
I've got a couple of magazines from the past, some really old stuff.
Yeah. See, it's like, you know, you see it, you know it, don't you? You know.
Yeah, and then I follow a Chevy Nova Pro Mod car they do. I don't know if they sponsor the car or it's featured in their magazine.
Right.
Obviously, having same car, it's just an iconic car in their magazine.
Yeah.
Like that's what excites me. Like the idea of like you follow that, and then all of a sudden you're now sat in a podcast having something to do with Gnarly.
Did you know that?
Do you know what I mean?
Gnarly's
I don't know, but did you mention it?
I've never mentioned it, but you know
This now.
That's really
Yeah, Gnarly, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's mad. I know. Yeah, Gnarly magazine sponsor us. I just thought I'd let you know.
But like that's like for me, that's what I find so exciting is like because I don't think people really realise how much of following you can gain. Like you know, people start to like respect what you're doing, and like the idea of going to a show and going, I've followed your builds for several years. Like I got the opportunity to meet you. Do you know? Because the very I know I said this before, but Richard Rawlins is obviously one of the biggest businessmen. He's not on Discovery Channel anymore. He's now pushing YouTube, and anyone has access to YouTube. And that's what I think is so cool is that we're all on the same playing field now. So the fact that somebody like Richard Rawlins sees how much potential is available on social media. YouTube is free. We can all use it. We're all in the same ballpark now. We're not like all of a sudden, they're the gods. Like
Like you're never going to get like a TV deal.
Yeah. And the fact that what I mean is it don't matter anymore.
Yeah,
That's what's so
the big
cool.
thing with YouTube,
That's what's
isn't
so
it?
cool.
Is you've got now Motor Trend. They've not folded, but they're not making any new episodes of anything. So all those hosts, most of them have been on YouTube for a while. The ones that haven't are now on YouTube. Hoonigan, which is again not folded, but they don't really make any content apart from drag racing now. All their content creators are on there.
Roadkill as well. They've just gone.
Roadkill. Part of Motor Trend. I mean, you got all those people that are now not behind a paywall, and I think people have basically got fed up with the whole paywall thing, or not knowing where to watch stuff. And the fact is, you've got shows like Mighty Car Mods that have been going over a decade. They've never been behind a paywall. They've always been on YouTube, and they're very honest about the fact that the merchandising and stuff like that keeps them going. But the thing is, if you're watching something like that, why would you not want to buy a t-shirt off them or something?
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's not only to kind of be almost part of the club. Support someone. So it's I think that whole business model of being behind a paywall and having to pay a subscription to see some shows you like but a lot of shows you don't is almost dying a death. It's like we're talking about Vice Strip Garage. Derek has only done roadworthy rescues on Motor Trend. Other than that, he's been fiercely independent, still works on his own, and again supports it with his merchandise. So it's possible to do it, and it's more entertaining as well because you're seeing more of the character of the people that are producing it. Because you get to see,
Chad, I don't know if you watch.
that kind of thing.
Awesome.
Yeah. Like Derek talking to himself and having arguments with himself. That's the whole point of it. It's not overproduced. It's just him kind of sometimes when he's on a long build, almost looking like he's slowly going insane by himself in a workshop.
But it's showing realistic
He's
stuff as well.
entertaining as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
That's what Bad Chad's good for.
Yeah,
like really like ultra realistic. You know what I mean?
Like Gas Monkey, it's there and then finished.
Well, it's like the old Pimp My Rides.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
We talked about this. I mean, the fact that when the conflict, and like you said,
just because they squatted and gone, doesn't mean it's just automatically fixed itself. Yeah.
Well, and them arguing and throwing tables and chairs at each other. We don't want to see that. We want to see the build.
That's why we don't film here.
Yeah.
They all got hammered.
On today's episode, husband and wife.
Didn't they used to take all the stuff out of the cars? After they'd done the cars.
Well, the thing is, they had all these cars that were absolutely crashed about and pimped them up, and were almost surprised that within a year they'd all been crashed about again. It's like you give a really, really none of them were particularly nice cars, but a really kind of done up car to someone who can't drive that well, they're just going to crash it again.
Yeah, and I think they used to take all that, the TVs out and shit, didn't they? I think they got caught taking all the TVs and stuff out of it. And,
As you possibly would if they're worth a bit of money. You think, hang on a minute, I've got no money. They've given me this car.
Then you just
All
let
the
them
bits are worth
supply it.
loads of money. Sell them all off.
No, the actual, they were, Pimp My Ride were taking the actual TVs.
Oh,
and
right.
stuff like that. Yeah.
I don't know about that. But,
Apparently so. Yeah, apparently so.
but yeah, the YouTube thing, I think you lose all the drama because it's enthusiasts again. It's going back to that kind of fairly low production value. I mean, don't get me wrong, some of them, like Finnegan's just done the Drag Week video and he actually hired a proper film crew to go with him. But from what I understand, it shows.
Yeah.
But that's out of his own pocket. He's not no one's paid for him to do that. He's got to sell a lot of t-shirts now to cover that. But then he's trying to give something back to all of us lot.
You ever thought about doing the gumball?
Love to.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. You ever thought about doing the gumball?
I kind of like to do it in something really inappropriate, like not. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, something where.
Feet 500.
But wouldn't it be nice to do it rather than like a Ferrari or something that you know is going to get there? Add a bit of spice to it, and like we might make it to the exactly.
I've got an 82 hardtail chop if you want to borrow it.
Yeah. We might make it. We might not.
You won't. No, bloody hell.
But that's it, and it is, it's kind of like some of the ideas of not only just the show and shine. Like obviously you're pretty passionate about pushing maybe the tykes, the small cars.
Oh, the little tights cozy coupe. Yeah, that started off as a really dumb idea.
I think it's cool.
It's
got to happen. It's got to happen.
Yeah, I don't know if the people out there behind the screen have heard about this, and they've probably seen I've been pushing it on the social media. I really want to do a Little Tykes Cozy Coupe build-off, which would basically involve all of you good people bringing customised Cozy Coupes, and I'll make a trophy, and let's have at it. So, but if you lot want to see that happen, give us a shout.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I've got one sitting on my front garden.
Yeah.
We actually did one, didn't we?
Did you do one?
Yeah, slammed it.
Yeah.
Bit of camber, chopped the roof.
Oh, you got to do it again.
Yeah, why not?
You have to do another one. You have to do a black sheep custom.
I was gonna say,
you know what I mean?
I think
maybe something you could do with your girls. Do you know what I mean?
Space in garage now from.
Yeah.
That's it. I think it'd be nice to. I think maybe we should do the organising team should do one as well.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna have to do the painting.
I could do that, but yeah.
You don't want me doing it.
You'll have to explain to your little lad why we've nicked his car. But
It goes outside.
You're gonna have to explain to me. Psycho, mate. Hell no.
That's
Well,
it,
we've
mate.
also leading on to that, we was going to do the biker build off.
Yeah.
So like obviously like we're big fans of biker build off.
Yeah.
Like Indian Larry.
Yeah.
We've like spoke about this before, and we was it'd be interesting to get some feedback on it as well and see what people think. But we was going to do and this is something that Josh was going to take on. Is basically you get a grand limit for the bike.
Yeah.
So the bike has to have a market value of £1,000. You can't go and buy a Sportster off your mate for £1,000 because he's giving you mates rates. Like it has to be, if it was to be resold, it'd be resold for around £1,000. And then you've got £500 to customise it, pay for parts, donations from friends. Like they still have to be accounted for in the £500. So you can't take the mick. You know what I mean? It has to be.
Well, I think kind of like when I spoke to you about it, it's like I come from like using a biscuit tin as an electric box and bed frame as an exhaust pipe, and I really think it starts down there. I think the idea of you potentially building something like that and feeling like you belong to something, not feeling like you're judged because you haven't got a Harley or because you haven't got a 30 grand building budget. And then from there, who knows where it's going to take that individual. It might be all of a sudden they've gone from messing around with a plastic car to all of a sudden building cars like what Black Sheep Customs is building.
You've got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It really, for me, it's really about inspiring people. It's about trying to keep them on the right path. Because at the end of the day, we live in a crazy world that's full of negativity, full of wrongness, and I almost feel like as we're all sat here, it's almost like our duty to kind of potentially try and inspire somebody else.
I think it's cool to have like limiting factors, and then people have to work their own skill set. Do you know what I mean? And figure out what they can make work for £500. To be honest with you, if I wasn't running the show, I'd totally be up for something like that, even the tiny tax and stuff like that, because it's a bit of fun, and it's like, it's nice to have someone set you a goal instead of you having to sit there and set yourself a goal. Like, if you know that you've got like a deadline, do you know what I mean, and you've got something to work towards, do you know what I mean?
I mean, like for the biker build off, I spoke to Lloyd, who obviously Keep It Country on Instagram. He's an award-winning bike builder. Won awards at the 101 show down in Margate. I spoke to him, I was like, look, this is what we're thinking of doing. Would you be interested in being a judge? And I think that's what's so cool, is even like somebody who's got builds literally now booked up to the end of next year, 20-30 grand builds. I mean, one of the engines, the Knucklehead engine, it's a 20 grand engine, and he is openly up for being a part of this. And I think that the fact that you've got like people like like what you guys are doing with Black Sheep Customs, and all of a sudden you've got these real expensive, precious, incredible cars, but yet you're excited about taking a plastic car and cutting it up. It really just shows that like people don't forget where they come from.
It's accessible, isn't it?
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you guys watch like soapbox racing and stuff like that? I mean, don't you always want to like make your own soapbox and stuff?
I've been part of so many kind of aborted attempts to try and build one of those, and it's always just got to the point where, we can't get the stuff together. Oh no, it's next week or something like that. And it's we've always had plans to do it, and it's one of those things I've got to do at some point.
I think the competitions are cool because it's like it's adding all that extra stuff to the show. You know what I mean? And it's like
there's no other shows like it.
Yeah,
no,
there isn't.
No, not that's doing that sort of like level of competition and stuff.
But the fact that we're like trying to get serious people involved to kind of show you that you've never touched a wrench, or you've never cut up a piece of metal, but we want you to cut up a piece of plastic. We want you to do a roof chop on a little Tykes car, but you've got people that are actually working on these rare old vehicles, bikes, that really are interested in see what you're going to do and give you the time you deserve, because it's about making people feel important. Like no one builds, like I said earlier, no one builds a car to be sat in the corner and not get the recognition they deserve. It's and that's what I think is so cool between us all, is that we're able to kind of give that to people.
I mean, I'm sitting here thinking, how would I make a tiny tarts car now? See, it just instantly kicks it off in your head, doesn't it? You instantly start thinking.
But that's what's so. That's what's so magical about it, is like you could have been a person that sat there having a really bad day, struggling in life, silly thoughts, dark thoughts, and all of a sudden this podcast pops up. You've never heard of the custom culture scene, and all of a sudden, bang, your brain's in a different place. And the fact, I know it sounds, and I'm not trying to make it all like, but there are people. I mean, I've had it on my podcast. I had a guy message me after 6 months after I released it. Thank you very much for putting it out there. It's helped me keep my brain out of a dark place. Mm-hmm. Bang, that's it. That's all it's worth. If that's what you can achieve for somebody, you've done your job. You've done it.
Yeah.
All it takes is one kind of dumb idea to inspire someone, and away you go.
Yeah, they could have been having a really silly thought in life.
Yeah.
That morning they could have got up and gone, do you know what, I'm going to do something real silly.
Mm.
And all of a sudden, whilst they're on their way to go to a horrible place to do something silly, they've got a headphone in, podcast pops up, bang. And I know it sounds a bit, you can't say that, Josh. No, I can, because like we've all been in places. I've had a bad, I said on the first episode, popped Instagram up, someone had shared a picture wearing one of my t-shirts. Took my head straight out of the silly place that I was in. And I think that's what's so incredible about all of this, is that
it comes back to Steve's mentioned it as well. It comes back to the one word is it's community, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is we all come from different walks of life, from different backgrounds, different ages, but we're all part of this same thing, of this community of people into cars, bikes, art, pinstriping, tattooing. You name it, it's all this one kind of culture and this one community we're all members of, and we're all the better for it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, definitely. I think we'll go to our second ad break.
Yep.
Attention painters, customizers, and perfectionists. Walcom is here to revolutionize your craft. Designed in Italy and trusted by professionals worldwide, Walcom's high-quality painting equipment is setting new standards for precision and performance. From flawless automotive finishes to show-stopping custom designs, Walcom products are engineered to take your car, truck, or motorcycle customization game to the next level. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, Walcom ensures unmatched results with every project. Take control of your craft with game-changing innovations like the 360 light, designed to illuminate every detail for perfect coverage, even in hard-to-reach areas. No more guesswork, just precision, perfection, and professional results every time. With Walcom, you're not just painting, you're creating works of art. From sleek rides to jaw-dropping custom builds, our tools are made to bring your vision to life. Discover the Walcom difference today. Visit walcom.shop or follow us on Instagram at Walcom UK.
Hang on, get this. Welcome back. I'm not being paid extra for that as well, Craig.
He's here all week, folks. Trying to feel.
Yes, I mean, just want to extend our thank you for having us here. And, it's been
And all the
awesome.
cups of tea. Thank you very much.
You've been applying everyone with cups of tea. I've been turning them down, not because I'm being rude, but otherwise I'll be like pulling onto the M180 and like desperately needing to pee. And I'm not a peeing in the bottle while I'm driving kind of guy, you know. Anyway, so we're going to be doing a ticket giveaway as like a bit of a Christmas thing, you'll be able to win 2 free tickets, full weekend tickets at that, and that'll be all you've got to do is like the podcast, so whether that's on YouTube or Facebook or Insta, comment underneath, done. And then you share it to your story or share it to your page, and we'll see that. And then we'll basically do a random name generator, and you'll be able to get your free tickets sorted out. As we're sort of moving to the end, what you got? What you got next, dude?
What have I got next? I'm doing a race livery on a Fiat Panda, and I can't wait.
Oh yeah, what you're saying?
yeah, that's coming up on Saturday.
You'll have
Yeah,
to do some pictures of that, or
I'll be sharing something after the fact, so that'll be on Saturday coming. So that'll be pretty cool. That's
so many secrets.
another thing to do. Yeah, it's,
Yeah, Matt.
yes, it's a cool thing because it's a different kind of type of car to be working on, and race liveries are fun.
Awesome stuff. Awesome. And then what about? So when's your next meet? You said March time. So it's the third Sunday of every month. You said.
First Sunday every month, starting March, depending on weather, but definitely April.
All we can do is just hold out that we get a bit more of a summer. You know what I mean? And it's not just sporadic days of sunshine in it. You know.
2025 is our year. It's going to be amazing.
We'll update that on the website and all social media platforms.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah, awesome.
Just keep it on the website at highway63.co.uk.
Yeah, and then and obviously just to sort of reiterate what we were talking about before. So, you guys are going to be you're basically running the show and shine for the Kustom culture, which means you're going to be doing all the vehicle marshalling. You're going to be sort of helping get everyone where they need to be, just really sort of like taking on that part of the show, aren't you? And
Definitely.
So obviously for people that are wanting to bring the cars and that, any questions, where do we point them?
Yeah, so I mean, really going
So
forward.
same again if using our social media platforms.
Website, or any of our social media platforms.
But we'll add all this into the website as well.
Yeah.
Send pictures of your cars, all information on it.
Yeah, well, what's your cars, what's your trucks, rigs,
We want everything American.
Harleys, bikes. If it's American, it's got an engine, or it's custom, we want it there.
Yeah.
We've always said this, although we're not a car, truck and bike show, is a lot of these are the canvases that all this artwork goes onto. So if you've got something cool, interesting, give us a shout, and
Yeah, and there was a
we'll get you
beetle.
on
There was
show.
a beetle cut in half.
There was a beetle cut in half.
You know what I mean? And it's like, that was pretty cool. Did you see that? Yeah, that trips people out.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's someone in that. Yeah, he's cut in half as well.
Maybe just walk down on the side. Yeah.
Did you get divorced?
Well, that's that German bus for you, isn't it?
Car clubs as well.
Yeah, exactly. If you've got if you're in a car club, East Coast Classics, Well Oiled, Bomber County Minis, or any other car club out there that wants to come and put on an awesome stand, and please get in touch. We've got awesome club deals, and I think we're going to be doing some special best club stand trophies as well, potentially. Or
We'll
something
definitely be
along
doing
those
that. Yeah,
lines.
if we can get more of a club presence, then
Yeah.
I would love to put something like that on. So it'd be a case of dressing up your stand as you see fit. Remember, the theme is basically B movies, old B movies. So if you can do something around that, it's
Yeah,
gonna
that's
get
a
you
cool
extra
idea.
points.
Yeah, I never really thought about like adding the theme
yeah.
of the show into the
It's
into the
all
actual
part and
Kustom,
parcel.
yeah.
It's
You got the examples, Matt, on that?
what B movies?
Yeah.
So your Frankenstein's monster, Dracula, Bride of Frankenstein.
Really
Swamp
like
Thing.
generic, like
Oh, yeah,
horror
yeah,
movie
that-
style.
Okay.
Yeah, and obviously, like for clubs that are out there, like don't be put off because Highway 63 are like massively involved now. Like, no one's trying to push anybody out.
No,
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Everybody's welcome.
it's literally like, you know, like I said,
people.
yeah.
yeah. What we needed was someone to organise the show in Shinefield because we just didn't have the manpower, and this lot have come on and very graciously offered to help. So we can't thank them enough.
Yeah, awesome.
Also, new sponsor, Black Sheep Customs.
Yeah.
So thank you very much to
Yeah.
Black Sheep Customs for
Yeah.
sponsoring us.
Yeah.
Black Sheep Customs.
Actually, customs. And also again for having
and
us
letting
here.
us use their space
Yeah.
and impose on them with cups of tea
Yeah.
and so on.
No, it's been cool, isn't it? Once
Yeah.
again, it's like,
She's hiding it, Con.
yeah. Thanks again. It's
Are you guys
awesome.
having a chill Christmas? You just staying around, or do you have like a bit?
We've got two kids, so we'll be sure it's chilled out, but
Well, you spend it all building stuff in the morning.
yeah, probably, yeah.
The Tights car now, isn't it?
Yeah, I
It's
was
like,
gonna
right,
say-
I've got you this for Christmas.
Yeah.
Well, this is Christmas. Competitive.
Also, I'm having it back and I'm getting the angle back.
Yeah.
How did the Christmas meal go? Because I saw you had
Dog
a
is
That's really good, actually.
Did it go well?
Oh, yeah.
What was that?
They had the Highway 63 Christmas meal, didn't they?
Oh, yeah.
He was like, I'm not invited.
No, that's literally. I'm like,
Yeah, that's
Right.
still a bit raw. That's still a bit raw, that, isn't it?
right. Harry, turn the. No, not really, mate.
Yeah, it's cool. Awesome stuff. So yeah, if this is coming out, I hope you've all had a great Christmas by this time, and yeah, we are like jet set on a mad year coming up with tons and tons of stuff.
It's going to be a good one. So if even we pull off half these ideas, it's going to be amazing.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, we hit January, and then it's like 7 months away.
Don't say that, man.
I know.
I'm scared now.
I know.
Yeah.
That's right, potentially.
Yeah, it does a
We
bit.
are a T minus 8 months from this moment. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I think we're proving that it's happening because, like, we're third episode in, different. You know, been lucky enough to be invited into Black Sheep Customs. This is the third,
Damn, man.
and do you know what I mean? It's the fact that we've been able to come to a new venue.
Yeah.
You know, like, well, come to a garage, been invited in here, and we're already proving it's happening. It's not that we're going to potentially wing half of it. Like, everyone that's involved is clearly motivated and able to make things happen.
Well, we're going to do a live one up at the farm, and I think you'd be a really good live speaker. We'll get a massive audience, and then you can. We'll just go right. Play the dude. See.
Right. Yeah.
I can do a burnout.
Yeah, that's it. Like that.
Drop the mic out the window as doing a burnout. That's a wrap.
Have you seen those planes of the guy who like, pulls up really quick and then he spits on his own arm and like stalls his car?
He's self of the. His drive shaft popped out.
Yeah, don't.
If anyone wants to buy a Fiat 500,
That's not even your car, man.
I know it's hers. Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I've done
it's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
So we
And,
just need to do social media whip
Yeah,
round.
we do.
Yeah,
Do we all
that's
on
it.
social media?
whip
Josh?
round.
666 Customs on
You should do
Facebook.
something interesting with your hands because I can do it in post production.
Oh, is it like off
Yeah, do
Will Ferrell on Talladega?
Talladega Night.
Yeah, and he's like there, but where do I put my hands? You know,
Do like a.
on this episode.
So well, do your 666 Customs and give it a bit of pizzazz, mate. Come on.
Right, it's 666 Customs.
You overdid that.
No, shit.
Come on, mate. What's yours?
Well, they're all different addresses. So if you go to highway63.co.uk, all the links are on there, and it's quite straight. Just click them at the bottom. Of the screen,
Easiest
so it's all
place, yeah.
out.
And that link's
Yeah.
just there.
Yeah.
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 So yeah, I'm danger_sign on Instagram, which is there, and danger sign 13 on Facebook, which is just there.
Happy days. You're making it really complicated.
You better make sure it goes there.
No, I'm joking.
Right, don't ruin it.
I'm going to use my feet. Right, we're going to do custom culture. We're at the Kustom culture glass stop.
Yeah, this is all getting
I was
No, I'm leaving this in. It's the Christmas episode. This is what we're all like.
Bar humbug.
Sorry, Tom.
Fucking point.
You blew it now. You had one chance.
I want to do
How
the
is
point.
It's my turn.
Oh god.
Go on.
Oh god. How was his black sheep?
There's children present. You can't say that.
Right, I'll go again. How was his Black Sheep Customs on Instagram and on Facebook?
Excellent.
Where is it?
Awesome. Right, before I say awesome and how we do it, that was a wrap. Are we all? Is that everything? Are we all good?
Well, we just want to let everyone know on the internet that let us know if you like this. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. It don't cost anything. We appreciate it a lot. And if you've got any questions or any
tiny
suggestions,
types build off. If you guys want to get involved, hit us up.
There's
what
a
do you
place
think
for
of
everybody.
anything we've spoken about? If you want to just let us know what you think, give us some suggestions. What would you like to see at the show? Let us know.
Absolutely.
Awesome stuff. Right then, catch you laters. Peace.
You have been listening to the Custom Culture Blast Off podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe and share it with your mates. Catch us next time for more stories from the custom scene, artist highlights, and behind the scenes look at everything that makes the KKBO so unforgettable. Keep it custom and catch you soon.